Cool. So week one, we are going to focus on, can you still see my screen, Nick?
I can, yep.
Okay, cool. Week one, we're going to focus on a demo of Isilon's GUI to show, how to enable VDI for file shares and roaming profiles. So basically what you're seeing here, we're not going to go through what is VDI, how does it work, all that good stuff. But if you look at what we circled, we're showing how to enable what customers may need to use for like a virtual desktop instance or a Citrix share or a VMware share. So again, a roaming user profile, highlighted a little bit what that is at the bottom, but essentially it's giving you access to documents in a shared folder. And you can do that with Isilon. Customers, across the board, they buy Isilon for various reasons, especially in certain verticals. We have had customers reach out as pertains to work from home initiatives to enable their Isilon array to do more. So if you're a current customer, here's a little bit of a walkthrough on how to do that and some of the things that Nick will be detailing here. And Nick, if you can see my screen.
Jack. Yep, yeah, I can. Thank you. So what we're going to do is a quick walkthrough on how we are going to configure the home directory auto creation and roaming profiles leveraging the OneFS Web UI. We're going to modify an existing user or create a new user to reflect the profile that is pointing through the Smart Connect zone name. And we'll then go ahead and log into one of the remote desktops and verify that the mapped drive occurred without having the user having a share created. And with that.
Cool. Thanks, Nick. And I'll give it to you to share. And just so you know, you sound a little bit choppy, so just want to let you be aware of your service.
Okay. Thanks. Yeah, and so were you. So I think that's going to be kind of the norm for as many people are leveraging Zoom now. So.
I'll pass the ball to you.
Thanks. And share my screen. And let me go ahead and hide that little floating media. Okay, can you see my screen okay? We should be landed in. Okay, so I've got here is a virtual instance of OneFS. It is leveraging the 8.2 code, which I like in particular with no flash, so yay. But we'll kick off by going straight into the access zones. This assumes that we've already got our Smart Connect zone name and always quotas enabled. So with that, we'll get the share created. And it's really just a several point and clicks that we'll go through. We want to select the correct access zone in which we've got the production. As you can see, the usual way admins like to carve out shares for users is basically through like a user's dollar. Well, that's kind of an easy button, but it's not good when you've got several thousand users. And then everybody can see everybody's folder, and if there's permissions, people kind of dive into somebody else's folder, and permissions unsets, you could have some sneaky things going on. So with that, Isilon OneFS has what we call user home variable expansion, and it's really just an easy way for shares to be created on the fly. And there's a couple ways we can do that. There's the %u, which is the username. There's also the ability for L for the cluster name, D for the actual domain name of the AD account, and then as well as the zone. But not really seeing a lot of people using that other than just the %u. Here we go. We'll select that. And what we need to ensure is that we have the %u in the folder path as well as in the name. We're going to not change any permissions. We just
and where do you get that path from, Nick? What does that point to?
Oh, this is just pointing to the OneFS file system. So this all gets created with our professional services during setup.
Cool.
So we got make sure we enable continuous availability. And of course, we're going to go ahead and set the permissions for the particular users, actually the domain users, as well as domain admins. We just click that here. We will select the AD provider. And then this is all running inside my own little demo here, and then on my Dell laptop. And we'll keep the credentials and select domain admins. Of course, they'll get full control. I'll add it, and then what's nice is that we enable everyone, but read only, unlike Microsoft where they have everyone full, but regardless, I like to get rid of it. And now we're going to add in our domain users. We have the ability to do authenticated users, and that's usually kind of like a sysadmin war, is which one do you use? For ease, I'm just going to use domain users. And again, go into search AD, and there we go. So we don't want to give them full control, so read only it is, or read write. And okay, we have everything created, and put the box. All right, so share has been created. And as you can see,
pretty easy. That's the Isilon GUI, right, Nick? Just for those that aren't familiar with it.
Absolutely, yep. And this can be done in command line form through PAPI, our rich APIs, if for those who want to do some custom scripting and app dev. So for the next piece, we're going to come into our Active Directory users. Now, most times other organizations have a certain sysadmin who will be handling all of this, so you'll work closely, storage admins usually work closely with the AD teams. And as long as you give them the path, they will go ahead and note this. So we want to use our Smart Connect zone name. And our user's account, good old Abe. Now, when we click OK, this usually takes some time because Windows is going to actually try to create the folder in that path, but since it doesn't exist yet, it's going to unfortunately time out. So as we get to see the little hourglass, and depending on your network configurations, that could last a minute or two. So this would be the most time that we'll have to wait. And a lot of times, if we're going to make this change, a lot of times, the sysadmins are going to, create a PowerShell script and make this change. And this obviously won't disrupt them until they log in. And what we do is we have, a migration strategy to get, from their virtual or their physical desktop over to their virtual desktop. So there is a little bit of a heavy lift during this initial process, but okay, so we finally got the alert saying, oh, I can't create, but we will show as we log in to the remote desktop that, in fact.
Hey, Nick, as you're shifting over to that, what are customers actually using this for? And I asked that because we kind of came up with the idea to do this to enable customers to do more, right? Because you had a customer reach out to you and they had a quick need, right? So I don't know if you could help detail a little bit of that.
Yeah, and true to form, my VM is acting up. It started with that customer trying to get more people working from home during their VDI instance that was overrunning their Las Vegas data center. And they had a VDI instance there, and then they leveraged their DR Colo for just a straight replication target for their Isilon. However, it was sitting idle, so they figured. Oh, I don't have that paused. So they figured basically, well, let's leverage the Isilon there. They had an Extreme IO brick sitting there in the DR, and their sysadmins were feverishly trying to get 2,000 users online.
Mm-hmm.
And
it'd be common what we're seeing for our customers right now with the COVID stuff. So.
Yes. All right, so gonna log in.
And I know as you're logging into that next user, another question I had, and this is kind of a tenet of Isilon in itself, right? That you're not having to go in and provision a bunch of LUNs or, you know, volume groups, RAID groups, or any of that, because it's just one FS, one file share.
Yes, absolutely. Just check that. Okay, I'm just having a little. Yeah, once this is set up, it is.
So what happens if you try to set up a whole server farm on your home PC, huh?
Yeah, you know, it was working just swimmingly 5 minutes ago. So again, always the art of the demo. Worst case, I'm gonna jump in and do it to the console. And give this one more try, and if not, then we will switch the guns here. Can you guys see my screen there?
Yeah.
Imagine so, Jack.
You're good.
Okay, cool. Okay. Well, something's not happy.
The real idea behind it is how easily you can go into OneFS and create the shares, right? To enable your team. So if there is a need for the environment to be able to have access to this, it's Isilon, it's our smart quotas, you know, smart connect. It's pretty simple to set up. It's just we're trying to set this up via a PC for a quick demo purpose, but I will attest I did see you do it just before this.
How many times does that happen, right?
Every time.
Yeah, so I'm just logging in here. I'm just trying to salvage this piece, but as we go forward, you know, from a VDI perspective, maybe we can look at having some of our VM friends go give a, you know, high level on the Horizon offering.
Yeah. If our customers or partners or, you know, my Dell counterparts out there, if you have any questions or topic, just shoot me a chat or a email and we can make sure we address it. So.
And here we go. Let's get in there. I think I have an issue with that VM. Fantastic. Let's see if we can't pivot. So things on the fly, right? Well, I guess you want to maybe unmute some people and take some Q&A while we're resolving some of these technical.
Yeah, are there any questions as we're going through this? I know we're just trying to fire up a quick VM, but let's see if there's a way you can reach out to me directly, or I can just unmute all. Now everybody's open. Probably better to mute all.
Maybe
that was risky.
The hands up feature, Jack.
Yeah, I don't know that it's giving me that.
It's on the bottom of the, if you as a participant click for the participants, see participants 41 in the bottom. If you click that, you'll get a separate list and a separate window shows participants.
Yeah,
Bottom right, there's a raise
Yeah, I
hand.
got that up.
Cool.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I don't have a question then, so it's all good. Giving you all the issues, huh? What are you actually going through right now, Nick, to try to set up?
Into the user and their
I had you
drive
muted.
is available. Oh,
You may be muted there. So.
Yeah, no, all good, thanks. Yeah, I was just resetting the VM. But basically what we were trying to show is that the user logs in and then they get their P drive available, and then, kind of showing in what we can do, from a snapshot perspective. They can go back and see point in time history, and as well as being able to show that we can increase quotas on the fly for that particular user.
Yeah, I think that's part of Smart Quota's offering, right? So if you're giving somebody a gig and they see a gig, or say you accidentally give them a petabyte, you can dial it back down to a gig, and it's all done on the fly via OneFS.
Yep, exactly. Okay, so let's see. All right, so as we are finally logging in, so again, talking with that customer, they did successfully get their users, 2,000 users, online over the weekend, and they're very happy. All right, so all I'm going to do now is just kind of open up Explorer and then verify that, yes, in fact, the P drive is created there. And as he does show, he's only got a gig. Now, Abe, he's working hard, so he's asking for an extra amount. So we'll go ahead.
So right now it's just a gig, right?
Gig, yeah. Let's just say he's working on some large ADAS functionality. He's going to be recording a lot of data from his unmanned drone, and we're going to go ahead and just give him a petabyte. So we jump back, take a look at him over here. We have to just refresh, and boom, he's now got a petabyte. Now we don't have it, but that's a way we can kind of thin provision an Isilon file system. So he's now got a petabyte.
And if you need a petabyte, I know quite a few storage salespeople. So
nice.
Always fun.
And with that concludes the run through for Auto Home Creations with a bit of a technical glitch, but I appreciate everybody kind of working through. That's technology.
And if you want to unmute yourself, ask a question, feel free. Kind of short and to the point, a little bit of hiccup, but essentially you can see it's kind of easy to do. So I'll steal the screen from you here, Nick.
Yeah, thanks.
So this is what we just reviewed. In short, going into next week, our week 2 topic, we're going to do syslog auditing and finding rogue users that are deleting files. Nick, can you kind of point out why that matters, or for who?
Yeah, we've seen it, unfortunately, a lot as, clusters are filling up, or even, just normal NAS folders are filling up, and, people are in this big, massive group share, and, they don't have enough space. Some people kind of will delete folders and files from people, and then, nobody notices, and they call IT or the help desk, and there's a snapshot, but it's expired, so the data is not there anymore. So kind of what we thought is having a very relevant talk around enabling syslogging on Isilon that'll dump to a syslog server, and then you can parse through that for a particular user and a deletion and present that back to the IT group or help desk or security to enforce policies around not deleting other people's data. So that's kind of where it came from in a real world environment.
Cool. And if you have any topics for week 3, I've talked to a couple partners and internal and stuff, so we do have some ideas. But if you got any ideas, feel free to shoot me a message. Again, next week will be a Row 1 story, try to make a fun graphic out of it. But let me know if you need anything, and we will be in touch. Everybody stay healthy and wash your hands out there. Take care.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, guys.